I'm State Senator Lester Jackson, Chairman of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus. And today we celebrate February 1st as the beginning of Black History Month. We gather here because this is a special day, because 150 years ago, 33 original black members of this body entered the Gold Dome. 150 years ago, 1868, 33 rightful elected members of this body was expelled because they were black in a nation struggling with racism from the Reconstruction era. These 33 black citizens, these 33 black public servants were duly elected by their constituents. However, under this Gold Dome 150 years ago, they were expelled. So on February the 1st, 2018, we commemorate and we remember the struggles of these 33. Black History Month is special to all of Georgia and to all of America because we remember the struggles of all Georgians. We invite members of everyone to that on February the 22nd, we will have our Heritage Dinner where we will commemorate the selfish and dedicated sense of duty to those 33 men who began under the Gold Dome and were the original members of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus. What I will do now, I would like to introduce our Communications Chair, William Bodie, to talk about our Heritage Dinner and the struggle of Black America for the past 150 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is William Bodie, House District 62, and I am the GLBC Communications Chair. On the first day of Black History Month, we gather to honor and recognize the original 33. Immediately following the Civil War, Reconstruction was an uncertain time in American history. However, it was an opportunity to build a new America. In Georgia, the new version of America was realized by the arrival of 33 Republican black legislators almost 150 years ago in July of 1868. During this time, the Atlanta Constitution printed that the Negro was unfit to rule the state. Outnumbered 4-1, their presence in the General Assembly was resented by white Democrats and Republicans. The white Republicans did not support the black legislators, and those Republicans were labeled as traitors to their own race. In September of 1868, the legislators were expelled. The original 33 were made to leave this state capital. Nevertheless, they persisted. The original 33 lobbied then President Ulysses S. Grant to be reinstated to their seats. President Grant so ordered the governor, Rufus B. Blaylock, to do so, and the original 33 were made and allowed to return to the Georgia General Assembly. Through terrorist threats by the Ku Klux Klan, 1/4 of the original 33 were beaten, tortured, or even killed. Henry Turner McNeil told the white legislators when he was being expelled, "You may drive us out, but you will not dim our light, and you will never put out our torch." And the light from that torch shines brighter than ever, as evidenced behind me by the members of the largest, most progressive black caucus in these United States, the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus. And this light shines bright across the state of Georgia through the legacy of the original 33, which is evident by free public education in this state, that was one of the hallmark agenda of the original 33. May we never forget the courage, the fortitude, and bravery of the original 33, who reminded us every day what is possible through the power of the vote. Now I will introduce my friend, Representative Al Williams, to not only talk about the Heritage Dinner, but also to talk about his connection to the original 33.
Somebody said I was one of them. First and foremost, I want to remind each of us, February 22nd is an important time when we have our annual Heritage Dinner. The doors will open at 5:30 at the Freight Depot, where we will commemorate each of the 33. We will remind you of how important they were to the history of Georgia. We will remind you that out of this group, the undeclared leader was Bishop William McNeil Turner, who spoke proudly and later became a bishop in the AME Church. From that group came Tunis Campbell from McIntosh County, who started his own government on St. Catherine's Island in Liberty County and maintained it for 7 years as the undisputed leader. Yes. Out of that group came U.L. Houston and James Sims from Savannah, two of the preachers that met with General Sherman, and out of that meeting came Article 15, 40 acres and a mule. What they didn't tell those preachers that day, that the surveyor had one eye and the mule had 3 legs. But they persisted, and through their persistence, here we stand, for I stand on the shoulders of William Golden of Liberty County. It took us almost 100 years to get back here. It was not an easy road, but come follow that road on the night of February 22nd, when we will show you that the journey ain't over yet.
Now, I want to make sure that we recognize also my friend, one of the esteemed members of the GLBC, our vice chair, Sandra Scott. So I want to make sure we recognize her today before we get to the next speaker. Now, at this time, I would like to take this time to introduce a person that's a near dear friend to me. She is a part of leadership of the Democratic Caucus, the House Caucus. She's the vice chair, but more importantly, she's a vocal advocate for the GLBC. I'm going to introduce now my friend, Representative Erica Thomas, to speak.
Thank you so much for that. I'm going to make sure that I keep it short, but I want you all to know that the House Democratic Caucus stands with the GLBC. And we stand here today because without the original 33, we would not be here. And we have to make sure that in our minds and in our hearts, we always keep the original 33 with us. Because as Martin Luther King said, the time is always right to do what is right. Can we say that together? The time is always right to do what is right. And 150 years later, we stand together in our black and our colors to say that we will always make sure that you never forget the original 33. Now I would like to bring back our chair of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus to take questions. Thank you.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here. But this caucus stands 60 strong, and we remember the 33, but also we remember the least of us. We remember the hopeless. We remember the underserved, and we continue in our hearts the fight and the struggle of the original 33. I want you to know we are the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus, and we hail as being the biggest. But I want you to know that we are the most progressive, and we stand for the right thing and right now. So we're going to move Georgia in a more positive and a more positive direction, and with us, Georgia will grow. Georgia will grow, and Georgia will be a better state for its people. Thank you very much. Now, we will take questions. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
The struggle from 150 years ago with the original 33 with the current climate involving the protest in the NFL resolution that was proposed by What's the question?
What's the question?
I mean, I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Relate the struggle from 150 years ago with the original 33 with the current climate here, where you have NFL protests and Mr. Schaefer with his resolution.
150 years ago, 33 legislators were expelled and their voices were gone. They were represented by their people and they no longer had a voice. We currently, now, NFL players still struggle today to be the voice of a voiceless people. We struggle today for people to be recognized, to hear our struggles of being African American, to hear our struggles of being police brutality, to hear our struggles of being a nation full of people that look at us as being invisible. If there are no other questions, we thank you all for being here. Now we will stand this caucus for a photo. Thank you.